Welcome back, Truth Seeker. May 23rd, 2019. Today in Pennsylvania, the governor, Wolf, announced the day as 143 Day in tribute to Mr. Rogers, who once hosted Mr. Rogers' Neighborhood. And Mr. Rogers would use the code 143 for I love you. I is one letter, love is four letters, you is three letters. 143. Notice today, May 23rd, 2019. Of course, it's the 143rd day of the year, but it's also a date with 67 numerology, and Mr. Rogers equals 67. So what a day for a tribute to Mr. Rogers. And there's a few other things that really stand out here. Keep in mind, 67 is the 19th prime number. This tribute comes in 2019. Some of you might have saw my call to Governor Tom Wolf on September 19th. I told people to circle that date on the calendar year. There would be a Masonic false flag shooting that day, and it ended up being in Masontown, Pennsylvania, synced up with Tom Wolf. Let me show you how today's synced up with Tom Wolf too. So again, Freemasonry controls your government and your media. And it's said that Mr. Rogers wasn't a Freemason. Some people claim that he was. He was a minister, and a lot of men of the cloth are also Masons of the York Rite. So it's possible that Mr. Rogers was a Mason. It's possible he was even part of the Scottish Rite, but no doubt this tribute is from the Scottish Rite of Freemasonry, which again controls government and media. And notice Scottish Rite of Freemasonry equals 143. Scottish Rite of Freemasonry also sums to 325. Think about today's date, May 23rd in reverse, 523. The Twitter hashtag for this is 143 Day in PA, and I don't think they came up with that by accident. 143 Day in PA is 127, also like Scottish Rite of Freemasonry. Think about buildings 1, 2, and 7 on September 11th, which was a giant Masonic ritual. Think about Pearl Harbor Day, December 7th, 127, which was a Masonic ritual. These numbers are important to these people. 143 Day in PA is also 78, like Scottish Rite. And to make no doubt about what has happened here, notice Mr. Rogers died February 27th, 2003 in Pittsburgh. Ancient accepted Scottish Rite of Freemasonry, 227. That's the 49th prime number. Scottish equals 49. Washington equals 49. America equals 49. The Scottish Rite headquarters has this etched on the building in Washington, D.C., the city named after the Scottish Rite Freemason George Washington. 227. Mr. Rogers, he died at that familiar age of 74. And what do we know about that? Killing, Masonic, Occult, Gematria, English, they're all 74. And February 27th is the 58th day of the year. Freemasonry, Rosicrucian, Secret Society, they're all 58. He died in Pittsburgh, another 58, on the 58th day of the year. And for the icing on the cake, Tom Wolf, the 47th governor, like how the Masonic compass is set at 47 degrees, each leg kicked out 23.5 degrees, 235, like today, 23/5. But from Tom Wolf's last birthday to today's 187 days later, and notice ancient accepted Scottish Rite of Freemasonry, also 187. And if you're new here, you're probably like, wait a minute, how are these things different numbers? So let me just write out ancient accepted Scottish Rite of Freemasonry. Then I will explain the ciphers. So in the first cipher, it's the alphabetic order. A is 1, B is 2, C is 3, up to Z is 26. The next cipher is that same alphabetic order, but using the rules of numerology, so making each letter a single-digit number. So for example, Z would be 8, because Z is the 26th letter. 2 plus 6 is 8. You can see down here, in this cipher, N's 14. That's where it equals 448. Where it equals 187, N becomes 5, because the numerology of 14 is 1 plus 4 is 5. The next cipher is the reverse alphabetic order. Z is 1 back to A is 26. And the last cipher is the reverse alphabetic order with the rules of numerology. So, you learn these ciphers. You see through the riddles, forwards and backwards. And there's no way this is an accident. These are the numbers of the Scottish Rite that get used in their rituals again and again. Notice the name George Washington equals 187 with the alphabetic order. If you flip the alphabetic order around and write Washington, D.C., it's 187. That's why Donald Trump, who ran in the 58th U.S. presidential election, that's why he had his GOP convention begin July 18th, 18/7, a span of 187 days from Inauguration Day in Washington, D.C. And the code's creepy, too. George Washington died December 14th, 187. If you write out 12/14, it's also 187. It used to be the Catholic colony there, run by the Society of Jesus, which is also the shorter name Jesuit order, but Society of Jesus is 187. That's why D.C. is between Virginia and Maryland, like Virgin Mary. But again and again, when you know the code, you see how the Masons run the show and they love their tributes and letters and numbers. And Mr. Rogers apparently knew a thing about letters and numbers with his little 143 I love you. I don't know if it was going to cost him his life at age 74. They say he died of stomach cancer, but highly doubt that was what actually offed him on the 58th day of the year at age 74. We'll leave it there, Truth Seeker. Until next time.